What's going on, guys? Here's a word that has been on my mind quite a lot lately. It's the word value. It's an interesting word because it has different meanings according to the context. It might mean the financial value of something, like the price tag that you see on any old piece of grocery or any kind of product down at the store. Or it might mean a value on a more profound scale, like one of your personal values, or indeed one of my personal values. And again, that version of the word is interesting to itself because we have way different values as people. And this is why we tend to disagree somehow. It's because we work from different sets of values. And while I'm not very theoretically acquainted with the term value in regard to our personal, individual, different values, what I've realized during these last 4 years, where I've had my whole entire entrepreneurial journey go on, is that I had in no way, before I started to make turn my whole life around, I had in no way been living in anywhere near the accordance with my personal set of values up until then than I am today. And okay, so what are those values? Well, I realized that my number one greatest and most profound and deeply rooted personal value is that of freedom. And that again is an interesting term because what the hell does freedom mean? It probably means something different to you and me. I think there's a pretty good chance it does because just like the word value, the word freedom is somewhat of an abstract term. For me, freedom means location independence. That's also something I've learned during these last 4 years. And I've done a lot of things during these last 4 years that I did to boost the financial value of everything, to earn more money. But what I realized is that I couldn't do those things really because they weren't aligned with my value system. My value system, apart from freedom and location independence, also encompasses individuality and being able to run my own show. I could have worked a pretty lucrative sales job for a very successful company that would have probably earned me around 2 to 3 times as much money as I'm currently earning, but it's not aligned with my values. And the takeaway here is that if you're like me anyway, if what you're doing isn't aligned with your values, then it doesn't really matter. It's not going to make you happy. And that is, at the end of the day, all we're after. If you're miserable when you go to bed, if you don't like getting out of bed in the morning because you're not really looking forward to what you're doing, then what's that worth? How are you going to enjoy looking back upon that? And by the way, if you're doing that, if that is the situation for you, then it's probably because there's something that is not really aligned with your values. Now, like I've said a few times here, I am quote unquote only 4 years into this whole journey of mine. And while I'm currently at the stage, I can safely say that I dreamt about when I was starting out. Another big philosophy of mine is that this is only the beginning. Because I believe that when you do something that is completely aligned with your values, then sure enough, you will see some real value, some real monetary value down the line. And I think if you look at like 80 or 90% of all very rich and successful people through the ages, that's what they did. They followed their values. They followed their passion. They followed their interests. They weren't just trying to be safe and well off financially. They were doing something different. They didn't only have their minds in it, they also had their heart in it and their guts in it. Because you might get financial stability by working a steady job, but that's pretty gutless if you ask me. Sorry to say it. Well, actually, I'm kind of hoping to offend a couple of people with that one, because that's what needed to happen to me. I was pursuing a path of wanting to be financial safe, and I never was. So, and that's when I started following my values, and what do you know? Today I'm earning more than I ever did. So, if there's a takeaway here, follow your values. Don't be afraid. This is the 21st century, people. You're looking at screens, you're looking at digital technology. It's a miracle that we have this stuff in our lives, and this is what enables me to live that free life that I envisioned back when I was starting out those 4 years ago. So anyway, I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you think is your number one value? Let's try to get a discussion going. Put it down in the comment field, and we'll take it from there, right? Talk to you later. Cheers.